Hey guys, this is MrsTroubleshoot coming to you with a video on how to raise and lower objects in the Sims 4 PS4 and also how to use the cheat code MoveObjects to your advantage. So just to start here, I have this testing area set up, and originally when you try to move objects it doesn't really give you control of where to move it without limitations. So you need to hit all 4 triggers at once and type bb.moveobjects on, and afterwards you'll see that you can pretty much move the object wherever you want after that, even combining it with other items and moving it into items it otherwise can't be moved into. And before you raise or lower an object, you want to hit L2 until you reach free placement mode. This makes it so you can move the object freely without it being snapped to the grid. Afterwards, you'll hold L2 and R2 and press up on the D-pad to raise it up. As you can see here, I didn't really get it precisely on that shelf, so all I did was grabbed it again, moved to free placement, and then L2, R2, tapping down to get it back on the shelf. Now these controls can be a bit tricky, so if you don't get an item exactly where you want on the first try, don't give up. Just keep trying to place it and eventually you'll get it exactly where you want. It just takes practice. Another thing I like to do is to put plants on the wall. I think it's a really nice decorative feature to have in my builds. So to do that, again, just press L2, R2, up on the D-pad, and place it exactly where you want on the wall. This could also be applied to shelves in the game, so I like to put towels on these shelves, and without move objects it's really difficult to get it exactly where I want it. So next I'm going to show you how you can get rid of the headboard on a bed if you'd like to change it. So you just take the bed, move it through the wall until the headboard disappears, then you can place anything you want, say a painting, a mirror, plants, anything you want in that empty space. And the sim can still use the bed like normal. Now you will have an exposed headboard on the back, and I'm not really doing a good job of it here, but you can cover this with stuff like countertops, large mirrors, appliances, or other large paintings. So it is possible to cover that headboard. You could even build another wall around it if you want to cover it. I find that to be a bit excessive, but that's also an option. I'd also like to show you how you can make custom objects in the game, like custom light fixtures, for example. So here you can see I'm taking a table plant and placing it on the wall in such a way that it looks like it's a light. This takes a lot of practice, but you can do this with several items if you just put your mind to it, and there's a lot of things you can create in this game. You could also make custom Ottomans for your beds. In this case, I'm taking like a coffee table and I'm placing it on the end of the bed in such a way that it looks like it's a part of the bed. I've made it red so you can see it easier what's happening, but you could change the color to whatever the bedpost is to make it look more realistic. I'm also showing you another way to get rid of the headboard. These are 2 couches I think are featured in City Living. They might be in the base game, but I'm pretty sure this is part of the City Living expansion pack. Anyway, as you can see, I've made it the headboard now. And don't worry, this bed is still 100% usable by the sim. I also like the fact that I can place a plant there on that wall to make it look like it's part of the bed. And you can put alarm clocks, other clutter, whatever you want on the surface, and the sim can still use the bed. And I think it makes it look really fancy and nice. Another thing you can do is use tables as shelves on walls. Now you do have an assortment of shelves to use in the game, but I like to customize my content a little more and take objects that aren't usually meant for something and make them into something else. So really use your imagination when it comes to this game. I think with moved objects on, there really isn't anything you can't do to make your game unique. So really have fun with it and try to see what other areas you can place objects in that you've never thought of placing them before. And just as a final tip here, to resize objects, you hold L2 and R2 and press either left or right on the D-pad to make it bigger or smaller. So that's going to be the end of this video. Here are just a few shots of my actual builds with some of the examples I was showing you earlier. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in my next video.